Please state your name, sir.
My name is Jay Jones. Well, actually, no. My name is Javann Jones, but I like Jay better. Sorry, Mom.
Okay, and where are you from, Jay?
I'm from Huntsville, Alabama.
All right, cool. What college did you go to?
I went to the University of Alabama in Huntsville.
Okay, and how long have you been here in South Korea?
This is my seventh month in South Korea.
Okay, and why did you decide to come here?
I had a friend who moved here, and he got married, and so I came here for his wedding, and I saw Seoul, and I saw South Korea, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of nice. And then I kind of joked about it, like, oh, I should move here. He's like, yeah, you should. And I was like, yeah, cool story, bro. And then I went back home. I finished college, and I was a writer, a freelance writer, which basically just means I was just check to check. And I was trying to find something stable. There wasn't a lot in America. And then I remembered, oh, yeah, I had been saying, like, oh, I should look into South Korea. So what I did is actually I was talking to my friend, and my friend told me, he said, well, apply for here, jobs here, apply for jobs back home, and see which one happens first. And I kind of figured I would find something back home before I found anything here. And so I applied, and pretty much the next day after I submitted my application, I got an email like, hey, are you serious about coming to Korea? So now I'm here.
Fantastic. All right. And what are some good things about your Korea experience?
I definitely have enjoyed the people. I've actually, before I came here, I was in a program to give people an experience teaching. So I actually taught for about a year. I taught at-risk youths, and I hated it. And I was like, I never want to be a teacher, and it soured me to the concept of teaching. But what ended up happening is I actually like the children here. The children here are kind of cool. I have fun with the kids here. I really like the people here. Everyone has been really, really nice. Actually, on the way here, I got into the elevator, and I know the word for tall because I am. And I got into the elevator, and the Korean ladies who were in the elevator all started laughing because of how tall I was. And they were like, oh, he's so tall. And it just kind of made me laugh. So it's really cool. Like, the people are actually very polite. I've not had any problems here. And I just really like the people, the food, the place. The living situation's not bad. It's actually been pretty good all around.
All right. Fantastic. What are some difficulties in your experience here in Korea?
I'm really tall, so
okay.
Yeah.
Ducking a lot, I guess.
A lot of ducking. Just getting used to the fact that not everything was meant for someone my size, but it's really not that bad. Other than just kind of getting used to everything being in Korean, kind of getting used to kind of navigating the city, especially since like addresses aren't the way they are in the States. Getting used to that was a little bit of a difficulty, but it helped as soon as I got a cell phone, which did not take long. And as soon as I had a cell phone, it was way easier. But yeah, I would say just kind of navigating and then kind of getting acclimated to the fact that at some point you're going to have to speak some Korean.
Yeah. With navigating, like, you got these GPS phones, so that's really easy to do these days.
Yeah, way easier. Google Translate is going to be a lifesaver.
And have you had any difficulties as a black man specifically?
Actually, no. And I honestly, well, I'm from Alabama, so I mean, but the biggest thing is I've never had any issues because I'm black. At least I don't think I have. For the most part, when I first, before I decided to move here, my friend who's also black, well, he's half black and half Korean, who moved here. I said that wasn't that big a deal. And then his brother also lives here, and it's the same deal where we were actually sitting around talking about this at dinner one night. It's surprisingly not racist. People are actually very kind, very respectful, to the point where I actually, one of my favorite times in class is we were talking about Martin Luther King Jr., and so we were talking about that with one of my classes, and I just asked my classes, like, should we hate other people? And they were like, well, no. And I was like, should we hate black people? Like, no. And I said, well, why not? I said, well, they never did anything, and it was just nice. And I think that kind of attitude is pretty much, I don't want to say pervasive because pervasive sounds bad, but kind of the norm here. For the most part, as a black man, I haven't had any problems.
All right, great. Is there anything that you miss from back home?
Yeah, I miss grits.
Grits.
Grits, cornbread, but mainly just food, and even then, there's a whole lot of new food here, and that's helped. Like, a lot of new things, a lot of new experiences. Some of the old things that I couldn't get here, I don't miss as much because of all the new things. And so I really don't miss too much. As far as my family, I talk to them almost every day. Before I left, I got my parents to get Kakao Talk, which is basically like so that they could text me. and also talk over the phone for free. And, of course, there's Skype and Uvu and FaceTime and all that stuff. So you really don't feel as if you miss your parents. It's almost like just living in another town.
Great. Is there anything that you want to buy that you just can't find in South Korea? Any products or things that are difficult to find here?
No, not particularly. I will say again that kind of stems back to the grits, but
Okay.
I was able to get them shipped in, so it wasn't that big a deal. I can just cook my own. For the most part, no. Everything that I've wanted, I've been able to find here. Maybe a couple of hair products, but there's always workarounds. And it may not be my favorite shampoo or my favorite type of hair product, but there is something here that I can use.
Okay, great. Do you have any advice for people considering coming to Korea? Anything that they should know?
For people coming to Korea, I would say you need to be willing to be a little adventurous, and also just, I guess, don't expect preferential treatment, but do expect that people will be respectful to you. So for the most part, people are actually going to be very respectful and relatively nice to you. You're going to see a lot of people running everywhere. Just go ahead and get used to that. That's just what happens. People run everywhere. But overall, I think you just need to be a little bit more open, a little bit more loose, and just be a little bit more ready for new experiences. And just be prepared for having a lot of fun, doing something that you're really going to enjoy doing, because there's a lot of fun to teach. The kids here are pretty amazing. You're always going to have them surprise you. I had this mindset where I was going to come in and be a very strict disciplinarian, and now I'm constantly laughing in my classes because my classes are really funny. The kids in my class are funny. They say funny things, they do funny things, and it's just been really fun. It's been a really good experience. So I would just tell you, be prepared to come, have fun, really get a chance to experience some of the culture. That's really a big bonus to being here, and just be prepared to really just enjoy yourself.
Okay, and you don't have to say any specific numbers, but financially, are you happy with your Korean experience? Are you making enough money? And
Yeah, actually, I'm currently paying off student loans quite expeditiously, so I'm pretty happy with it. Money-wise, I've always been relatively happy. The money is way better than some of the jobs back in the state. It's actually pretty comparable to about a mid-level college job. So once you got to college, what you would expect is about mid-level from that. So you're not going to be just rolling in money, but at the same time, you still are going to make a decent amount of money, and you should be fairly happy with what you make.
Okay. All right. Well, one more question. Anything else you'd like to share? Any fun stories or interesting experiences you've had?
So there's a lot of things that I find personally funny that has happened. My first term teaching, it was almost like my first day, we were talking about war in one of my classes, and so I'm going through my class, and I'm like, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I'll say it again, war, good God. And one of my kids said, ugh, and he got it. And some of the class didn't get it, but the one kid getting it, I was like, high five for you. This just made my entire day. And like my entire teaching experience has just been that. Well, not me quoting songs, but it's just been like just having fun. It's been a lot of fun working with the kids, and I tried so hard to be firm disciplinarian, and I end up just kind of being like, you know what, kids, let's just have fun. So it's been really great. That's been the part that's been the best for me. It's just the amount of fun that I get to have with the kids, and kids who actually want to learn, which has been really nice, and kids who are actually very intelligent. Not that the other kids in the States aren't. It's just wanting to learn, really intelligent, really bright, and just really happy. And actually I had one of the kids, a girl, in one of my classes, is one of the classes where I've actually had to be the strictest, where I'm constantly like, stop, don't do that, and not a lot of smiles, not a lot of jokes. Still, at the end of the term, she came up to me and she went to the next level, and she came up to me and gave me a sheet of paper, and the sheet of paper was a letter she had written to me saying how much she appreciated my class, how she thought it was very funny, and how much fun she had in my class, and how she wished I was teaching the next level she was going to. And I thought that was really great, because I felt horrible about that class for the most part, simply because a lot of that class was just spent with me disciplining and saying stop, quit. But it was nice to see that at least one student in that class really appreciated it so much that she decided to write me a letter, which was nice.
If you're interested in coming to South Korea, please send your resume to instructasia@gmail.com. Thank you. Peace out.